one memory that sticks out right now was when I had the chance to play with Ilya Nastase when I was 6 years old. I remember that day quite good. I remember that he did a trick shot actually while we were playing, and I was like just blown away by it. And I remember that was being a lot of fun. Well, I obviously became an idol quickly of Boris Becker. You know, he won actually here in Wimbledon in 1985. At that time I was 7 years old, and from that point on, for me, it was my mind was made up, knowing that that's what I want to become as a professional tennis player. In a big part because of my father, he was teaching tennis to make a decent living, and that's how I got actually involved into tennis. Well, nowadays it really depends. You know, depends if it's a real training week, or depends if it's like a week before a tournament. How many tournaments have I played, blah, blah, blah. I mean, we can go on and on, but normally if I really do have a good training week, you know, I try to train sometimes twice a day. Those sessions usually would last, you know, at least an hour and a half, 2 hours each. And then, you know, you try to do a lot of gym work as well. And, you know, nowadays it requires a lot for me to be, you know, in the physio room, on the massage table, getting a lot of treatment and, you know, doing my exercises to maintain the body as good a shape as possible. It's always a tough question to answer because people probably think like, oh, you had to sacrifice so much and, you know, all these hours on the court and playing all the time. You know, for me, it just really, it was, you know, mostly always a joy, you know, being able to play, you know, going to play junior tournaments, traveling the world, and then really pursuing or trying to go after your dream of becoming a professional tennis player. I don't know, there's so many to begin with. I mean, I love ice cream, I love chocolates, I mean, I love the Austrian desserts. There's just so many to even just to name a few. It's crazy. I love Häagen-Dazs ice cream. I mean, I usually, my, you know, fiance always gives me a lot of crap that, you know, usually I would buy a pint of ice cream and finish it. And, you know, for me, it's like once you start it, I can't stop, knowing that, you know, I'm not going to put it back in the fridge. It needs to come, you know, into my stomach where it belongs. So until it's over. But, you know, I love to eat. You know, you try to be strict. You know, I'm also doing this gluten-free thing now as well, and that means no bread, no pizza, no pasta, which can't be, which isn't that easy all the time, especially when you go to places like Rome and you ask, you know, in a nice restaurant, do you have gluten-free pizza or pasta? And they look at you like, what are you talking about? So, you know, it gets hard sometimes being on the road, but at the same time, you have to be smart about your diet, because it helps a lot if you do it right, and that's it. I think every tennis dream is to win a Grand Slam, you know. Particularly, obviously, this one was always, you know, one of the big ones, because, you know, also Boris at that time, being my idol, won this tournament a lot at a young age when I was young, and looked up to that, obviously. But you know, and then just to really become a professional tennis player, you know, live the life of a touring pro. That was my goal and my dream.